Okay, this is the interior part of the church.
The
Okay.
church of Beta Medhani Alam. This is the biggest church. As you imagine from outside, the interior part has also a huge side. It has a proper rectangular church with a basilica form. The church has classified in 5 sections in the interior part. The first section called the Holy of the Holy, which is behind the curtain, the place where the Ark of the Covenant or the replica, which is kept, only priests can be entered in that church, in that
The Holy of the
section.
Holies.
And the second section is in the middle of the church, who have higher aisles in the middle of the church.
Okay.
And the priests used to sit around here, that the hymns, the chanting and the singing, they used to the priest in front of the Holy behind the curtain. This is the place for the chanting of the priests. They used to do their hymns, singings in the churches.
So behind that curtain is supposed to be the Holy of the Holies.
The Holy of the Holy.
Yeah.
Only priests and deacons, servants of the churches, will allowed to go to inside that.
And this is where the Ark of the Covenant would be,
Yeah.
behind the Holy of the Holies.
Yeah.
And so we know in Axum, they say that's where it is.
Yeah, that was the place where the real Ark of the Covenant found, which is that Moses received from God in the mountain of Mount Sinai. So, but in Ethiopia, every church used to have the replica, the copy, which is to write out the Ten Commandments made out of gold or silver or wood or stones. They used to keep that replica or copy of the Ark of the Covenant inside their churches. That's why it makes them churches and counted as churches and counted as a holy place. That makes them house. But except without the holy or the replica, this church will be like house. No, it doesn't give meaningful. It will be counted as a house.
Yeah.
It will be structured. But
Right.
if the ark found out in that place, that the people, the worshippers counted as this is the holiest place.
Let me mention this right here. We had conversation before, and I shared with him. Come on over here, brother. I shared with him about the originality that exists in Ethiopia, and what does the Ethiopians believe in y'all as far as the color skin of y'all say Jesus in your language is what?
Jesus.
Iosus. Okay, the letter J came, I think, 500 years ago. So anyway, we see right there behind me is a white, long-haired Jesus. Why is that there when you can come through Ethiopia in Lalibela and see in most of the churches, black skin, afro, like mine, thank you very much, and yours, right? Why is that there? What would your reason or answer would be in your profession that you've been doing this for 5 years?
So, as he also explains that even not the language English or Jesus will become like 500 years or something.
Might be a little longer, longer than that.
Even also this painting right here is not as much elder. It has have maybe 100 years like that.
Okay.
So it will be like people when they went to some places, when they went to cities, they have those influences with a picture of Jesus with those kind of color. So they brought out and they buy in their own affordable, so they present it as the churches. But when we see the pictures or ancient manuscripts or ancient paintings on the canvas, or it will be on the mural paintings, we didn't found this kind of color in every churches in Lalibela. Originally from the 12th century, it doesn't have this kind of color. They used to found painting in their own traditional color, which is natural ingredient, and they used to also their original and the time that they found, they depict that Jesus was real, and they proved out and they see out from maybe earlier generation, like in the 6th and the 4th century, on the 1st century also, much closer to the 12th century. So they just depict that they know, and they found out Jesus black. They painted Jesus black and the walls of the churches and their own old manuscripts.
Okay. All right. And so we appreciate that information. We're going to move forward. And I'm going to say this right here, family. Money is powerful. And this money that comes into these countries are very influential. Money, they will build buildings. The Western money will come in and build buildings, tell you to change the name to English names, and also put up statues and pictures and everything that will depict what they perceive things to be. And so we're going to continue on, and we're going to search for the truth.
Get closer.
Yeah.
So this is the interior part. The interior part has a pillar. Even the pillars are originally connected from the ground, and at the top of the ceiling they support them. And the number, there are 72 pillars, 34 of them outside and 36 of them inside supporting the ceiling.
Okay.
And they are originally connected each other by round arches. And it has supporting them bracket and capitals as well.
All righty. We'll continue on.
And the church has the holiest part on this side, and on the other, and the left side, where the male person is standing, and the other side, the female person is. In the middle of the church, the people they used to serve the holy masses and their ceremonials.
Okay. Now, this is disappointing right here. Again, you know, as we see these pictures that you say were brought in only less than 100 years ago or so by people who,
the present days,
to the present day, that people who have brought these in from different places they visited.
Yeah.
What we're seeing here is a Western influence, you're saying.
Yeah.
And but yet, when you look at pictures like this, you can see a baby with an afro, right? You got brown toned skin and people with afros. This is supposed to be, this is who in your language?
Maria,
And,
her son Jesus.
okay, so Mariam and
Jesus.
Jesus. That's right. So, but we hear, he went from an afro to long hair. His hair straightened out, right?
And these are the kings and the 12th century and of the Ethiopian emperors. The one who found here are Yimrahane Christos and Harbe and King Lalibela and King Naphtala. Those are the four prominent kings. They served out Ethiopia as the emperor in the 12th century, next to them as a successor and next to them as a predecessor. So they also were a priest. For example, King Lalibela, he used to serve as the church, and he was king also, used to serve, lead the country, and he was also building a church for our country and for our Ethiopian Christian people. Now we count him as a saint because he built out house of God for Christian peoples.
All right.
And the other over here, some graves over here.
Graves.
Graves.
Okay,
Those graves are empty, but those graves has symbolical name. For Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Abraham in English, Isaac and Jacob. Those three biblical fathers on our Christian religion.
When did the name Christian, you know, Christian is an English name. What was it called before the name English Christian?
Let me use our language, how we say Christian. We call it Christian. Christian is Christ person, or the person of Christ, or a Christian person. So Christian, or in English, as you said, Christian, we call it.
Christ
Christ
is an English name.
English name.
Christ. It is not your language.
No, not.
So, but y'all use the name Christ.
It will be like much similarity pronunciation with those different ancient languages. So when you refer, not only directly change, when you bring out that language or that written language, when you bring out to your language, you will try to say it in your accent or in your language, it will be more closer.
I understand.
But some alphabet will be changed, some pronunciation will be changed.
Okay. What are these canes down here?
Those are the prayer sticks. Those are made out of wood that they used to people standing for hours. They used to hold their bodies during standings.
Okay.
So during their prayer, they pick out this stick and standing here in the church, attending the Misa and doing their prayers inside the churches.
Think about it, 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 think about it.